Good morning and Happy New Year. Well, as you can see, got the shop pretty much cleaned up, and now we're uh, cleaning up Christmas and getting it all stored and all the good things, getting ready for the new year, and looking forward to doing some really neat stuff. Some of you know that I've got a special 220 volt 15 kW inverters coming. They're 48 volt input, and really looking forward to getting that in. They're being shipped on January 10th, and so somewhere after the 10th, I'll be receiving them. They weigh about 175 pounds a piece. I've ordered 3 of them, and the really going to get serious this year on setting up emergency power alternative for my home here. The That's something when the power goes out. In my lifetime, in the last 10 years, I can only remember being out of electricity here in my area for maybe 20 days in the last 10 years total. And it could be a little bit more than that, but when you do the math on it, it's like 0.005% of the time that went without electricity. So, that's grid power really has a good history, and you'll never hear me knock Maine's grid power. And protect the grid, protect the grid, protect the grid. To me, it's the safest way to go. However, there are times when things are out for 4 and 5 hours, and yes, you can set up little small units to keep your computer running, keep your data running during those kind of power outages. Storms, ice storms, fire, wind storms, tornadoes, the various things that causes a power outage. They happen, and it's still nice to be able to have the lights on during those periods of time. And the the truth that I found is that yes, we can get our Q factors really up high, and there's some phenomenons when you're working with high voltages that it appears that you can produce a lot of energy, and you can, but to do it safely is for your home is the trick. And when people demonstrate those devices, that puff of blue smoke comes off of it, and many of you know that when you're working with energy that you can have that puff of blue smoke. I've had it happen many times. One of the questions was asked, what about generators? Well, yeah, I've got a generator that'll run the whole household, but the thing is, it's noisy, and the don't really want to put up with the noise. And so most households in the United States, especially in my area, are not wired, with emergency generators in mind, or even solar power. And I know that we'll probably get new specifications for electrical codes that will implement those in the future, but they're not building new construction, to my knowledge, with emergency generation backup in mind, whether it's solar, wind, or whatever. So anyway, I just hope everybody's having a happy new year, and all my experiments are all packed up, and starting with a clean slate. And as soon as I get my tables cleaned off this year, my goal is to, in my shop area, to have a place for everything and everything in its place. And if you see this table over here, dirty, then there's going to be a problem. Now, this table over here, that's where I'm staging stuff to find a place for it, and the things that I need out. That's kind of like my operations table, you know. That's where my tools and stuff that that'll be my preparation table, and then but this year I've planned to have a much cleaner shop. I'm a piler. I'm not a filer. I do like everything in its place and everything to have a place. And my shop has always kind of been to some it looks like confusion, but when I'm working on something and then I leave it for that evening, I like every tool to be right there where I can get back on the same train of thought. And I've been set up where I had 6,000 square foot to do that in, but inside my home and where I live, I like to keep everything neat and vacuumed and plush and everything. My shop gets a little bit messy, but we all have different things. And my wife, God bless her, she's just been so tolerant with me for the last few years. So my promise to myself is to keep everything organized. One of the sayings that my boss had that I respected a whole lot in life, he had a sign on his desk, and the sign read on his desk, a clean desk is a sign of a sick mind. And I never had a problem with that because my desk was always mussy and fussy. I've never had a clean desk because I work at my desk and then I leave it. So my desk is not cleaned off. It's got lots of things in front of me to look at. One of the things that I'm playing with this year is sound systems. And, you know, I set up a 5.1 Dolby right here in my environment. And of course, most of my recordings are in stereo, and with the inverters and everything that they have for that, I'm putting music back into my environment. And so been doing that. I'm getting to be a kid again, listen to my music, and you know, putting my old servers that I've had with all the music in it back online and getting that set up. So emergency generation and music is the focus that I'm doing this year. And then the robin's nest. And some of you guys know about the robin's nest. That's the she shed. And so Mama's getting the she shed, and it's going to be to her design and what she wants, and that's going to be her escape place. And, you know, after I get through with all the little little tweaks throughout the home, the front door had a little catch in it when you would shut it, and it never bothered me, but like that's what I fixed yesterday was that, and just those little bitty annoyances that are through your home. I'm doing the detail now to get those things done. Of course, like any home, you always have something to do. I still got to paint my garage door over here. You know, that's one of the things. And then I've got a hallway to paint. And there's always something to do in a freaking house. You know, finding that last thing to do, you don't have to worry about it. You just go ahead and get it done, getting those last little tweaks done. So, in my reflection of the 2019 was a very good year, and many things are changing. I expect things to really get better. learned a lot of things in 2019. And so many of you guys that run your own channels and become personal friends. I mean, I love you all. And newcomers that come into the like-minded things, just keep on keeping on. And I hope you guys are having fun, because we are. And we'll see you next trip.